So let's study our lecture number 5. The theme is methods and techniques for text analysis, and in the plan we have 3 questions with the content and objectives of the text analysis, definition of basic concepts and methods of text analysis. So as we know, the study of the text was determined in the 16th and the last century. When traditional linguistics mainly proceeded from the analysis of certain sentences formed from written sources. As you remember, the 5 character features of text in discourse, it is important while analyzing the text. The problem of communication in theory has a specific character in comparison with discourse. Text is primarily the result, not the process, of speech production. In writing, where only communication takes place, but there is no exchange of information between people. The author of the text focuses on some kind of average reader with whom he has no personal contact and doesn't know his reaction to the content of the text. The communicative strategy of the author is unambiguous, while on the part of the reader, the recipient of information, multiple interpretations of the text are allowed. However, this circumstance has its advantages, since it allows one to judge with a high degree of certainty the spiritual and linguistic personality of the author. Here, the author doesn't so much adapt to a particular reader as seek to influence the reader and impose his own way of thinking on him. So the content and objectives of the text analysis, the theory of the text, linguistics of the text, grammar of the text, and hermeneutics considers the text as an integral semantically related entity created according to a specific plan of the author. Description of the text is provided not only by linguistic means, but also by the necessary general kind of knowledge of the reader about the world and the subject matter of the text. So, here you see the main goals of the text study, which are 4, and the first of them is determining the type of the texts. The second studies the structure of texts. The third one, establishing the features of intra-text links, and the fourth, determining the semantic pragmatic features in the text. So, and basic concepts. The first concept is the sentence, which is the main speech unit of the text, which expresses knowledge about a segment of reality. The meaning of the sentence is realized as part of the text, information about the fragment of reality. For example, the sentence, Mike was reading a book. From this, we learn what Mike was doing, but no other information about maybe his age, his occupation, what did he before. We don't know such information. And now let's take the same sentence as part of the text. Mike, a student of the 5th grade, went straight home after classes. There was nobody at home. Dad wasn't there. His mother worked as a nurse in a hospital. She hadn't come from duty yet. Mike really wanted to eat, but he decided to wait with his mother. Knight sat at the window and began to read a fairy tale from a book that his mother gave him in his birthday. Knight read the book and looked at the table from time to time. There was a piece of bread covered with letter. And from this content, we know a lot of information about Knight's age, Knight's doings after classes, Knight's father, Knight's mother, the situation at home, some information about the book fairy tale, which was presented him by his mother, and his desire to eat, and that there was a table, that was a piece of bread at the table. So we can say that from content of the text, we know a lot of information. So in the other concept is meaning. So from English sense and general sense, the meaning is the meaning of the language form, words, phrases, sentences, realized in speech, which they receive indefinite content. The set of meanings of speech is the content of the text. Any sentence consists nominative meanings and predicative relationships. Predicative relations, predicativity, determine the conditionality of the meaning of the sentence with a temporal and modal correlation at the moment of speech. This isn't a grammatical but a semantic factor. For example, the boy reads, the boy read, the boy will read, the boy would read book. So different semantic meaning. Does the word use the forms of the word read? Here it isn't. Cohesion is the connection between the meanings of sentences in the text, which provides a logical relationship between facts, events, and actions. For reference, the main linguistic means of cohesion is the use of various language forms to name people or objects in the text for the second or some more times. For example, once upon a time there was a king, his name was Frederick. He had 3 daughters. He loved them very much. Once he dreamed that here the forms of the king, his name, Frederick, he had, he loved, he dreamed, correspond with the same reference in this situation with the word king. So we can't repeat the word king in each sentence. Yes, that's why we try to replace this with prepositions. The co-reference can be implicit when the connection between objects is established clearly associated. For example, the car was useful from its outside, but the engine was no good. And the next lexical semantic lines, a set of text elements related to one referent which are part of the sentences and distributed throughout the text in the form of thematic word classes in associated relations with the reference. The referent is an element of objective reality with which this language expression is related, the sort of which is firmly fixed in the collective consciousness in the form of the inside of the word. Speech style is a specific variant of language expression with a fuller dictionary, physiology, and grammatical constructions associated with certain forms of speech. Functional styles are distinguished as a combination of linguistic means characteristic to the main types of written speech. Individual style, a set of style elements characteristic of the works of this particular author, the originality of the author's influence on the adversary. Neutral style is a common type of any kind of speech with no special stylistic needs. Theme is a rubric of the story, then including semantic basis of the text. Delimitation, the definition of boundaries, extreme limits in the text. To study text, we study the written words that communicate some information. Structure, theme, meaning, rhetorical devices, etc. To study discourse, we study who is communicating with whom, through what medium, and for what social purpose. Let's use this concept as an example. To study and analyze the text, we will note the overall structure and, most importantly, you will grasp the meaning of the content as it answers the question. Summary: text is a behavioral, not interactive event restricted to your experience, with understanding its characteristics and its meaning for information as its singular purpose. Discourse in any medium is a social interactive event with many layers of communication and many layers of purpose. There is no definite theory about types of texts in linguistics and the theory of text typology. So most linguists suggest the following division of texts: scientific and non-scientific texts, literary and non-literary texts, monological and dialogical texts, and mono-adversate or poly-adversate texts. Each of these divisions actually exists, but from the point of view of a common and unified tautology, they are incorrect. For example, a literary text, on the one hand, will fall into the group of non-scientific, and on the other hand, simultaneously into the groups of phonological and biological. And Lavina suggests the following classification of texts. So the first is according to the form of representation, where text can be oral or written, and according to the nature of the reflection of reality. All texts are divided into literary, characterized by an ambiguity of perception, and non-literary, characterized by an ambiguity of perception. So in here you see methods of text analysis, 7 steps in. The text analysis is complex descriptive in nature, which is a series of sequential steps in the algorithm system performance. The algorithm for examining any text is as follows: text delimitation, definition of the type of the text, installation of the text theme, determination of the text structure, identification of features of input-text themes, definition of stylistic features of the text, establishment of the pragmatic essence of the text. So the first 3 steps are devoted to top-down text analysis, the next steps to bottom-up analysis. And the analysis is done by our Kazakhstani linguist, Abraham Karminsky, in his book Methodology and Paradigms in Linguistics. So here you see the same 7 steps in the sheet. If you have questions or discussions, Why it is important to know the steps of the text analysis. What characteristics of the text and discourse are important to know while analysis? What types of the text are suggested here or below? What are the types of text are given in general classification? And what are the main goals in text study? So references as usual and thank you for your attention.